Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, distinguished guests, and bar staff, I'm very proud to have the honor and the privilege of introducing El Jefe, my brother, my good friend, Roland Sanchez-Medina Jr., Esquire, as your president of the Florida Bar.
I'm already a crier, so please sit down. Good morning, everybody. And Scott, you outdid yourself. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody, for being here as I on the verge of becoming president of the Florida Bar. There's a lot of people here, and I got a lot of advice about my speech today. Somebody said, look at the crowd, look at them as if they're naked, and you look great. So, congratulations. Chief Justice Muniz and Josh Doyle in particular look fantastic. And if that was racy, that comment came from Jon Stewart, so you can blame him. As far as I can tell, I'm the third president of the Florida Bar to be born outside the United States, Steve Zak and Frank Angonis being the others. So I'm proud to be a naturalized citizen of the United States. The journey was arduous, but the journey was unique. But I had so much help along the way. And if you indulge me, I do want to thank certain people and certain organizations in particular, although I do understand this is like the mistake 101 of speech is naming people, but it's too important for me not to name them. I wouldn't be here without my SMGQ Law family, right there, Peter Gonzalez and his wife, and Pablo Quesada and his wife, and I started on this road, and it became my home. It's been my home for so many years, so thank you very much. I'm a crier, so we'll go up and down. I wanted to take that Xanax, but it's been my professional home. Thank you so much. But it grew over the years. In fact, that family includes Michael Montiel, Karen Alvarado, Gladys Abraham, Gisela Baerga, and others. They're right here. You're a wondrous blessing. And in particular, Mike, I wouldn't be here without Mike. Thank you, Mike. I love you very much. My partner. Mike's my partner, so when I'm not in the office, man, he takes care of everything, and he does it beautifully. I'm indebted to you. I will always be a child of the Cuban American Bar Association, CABA. In Miami, there's a lot of responsibility for leading this wonderful organization, although I may not have totally understood it when I first started. So I had to grow up and become a better person, and for that I'm eternally grateful, because I try to raise the standards in every which way because I was forced to, because being the president of CABA demands it. And so if anything, I'm a reflection of the leadership of CABA, and some of them are here today, so I need to name the presidents that I served under: Gene Hernandez, Victor Diaz, Ray Abedin, Tony Castro, Judge Corey Lopez Castro, who's back there, Liz Hernandez and Marlene Quintana. They served with distinction, and I try to emulate what I saw. After graduating from CABA, I joined the Board of Governors of the Florida Bar, and I can say with total certainty that I enjoyed every single minute of it. The Board of Governors are composed of intelligent, witty, fun people who possess just a genuine passion to do good in our profession, and they dedicate a significant part of their lives to improving the lives of attorneys in Florida and the public we serve. I recommend, not against current members of the Board of Governors, but I recommend you run for the Board of Governors at some time if you get the opportunity. Not against the current Board of Governors, let me just say that a second time. But I really recommend it. It's a special opportunity. The members of the Board of Governors that are here, thank you very much. One of the nice, as Scott mentioned, I'm a transactional attorney in Miami, so there's so many people that I would have never come across. and they blessed my life in so many different ways. And just to name a few, Steve Exner and Jeremy Branning from Pensacola, I would have never come across. John Agnew from Fort Myers, I would have never come across. Tom Bopp and Amy Ferrier, who's an appellate attorney, I would never come across Amy. Wayne Smith from Key West. Brian Burgoon, who just won an award today from Atlanta, would have never had the opportunity to meet Brian Burgoon. And for the record, some of them are Florida people. I could have avoided that, but they're on the board. And frankly, without their support, I would have gotten the courage to run for the to run for the presidency. So thank you. The sad part is that I know that there's an expiration date to serving in the Board of Governors. And that's the part that saddens me the most because, I'm not going to be the creepy college guy who comes back to the high school parties. And so there's an expiration date, and it'll be a sad day for me. There are 4 exceptional members of the Board of Governors that are leaving. Laird Lyle, Jay Kim, Tom Ward, and Linda Goldstein. Laird, in fact, served for more than 20 years. And Jay's around here somewhere. If there was a MVG, Most Valuable Governor, it would have been Jay Kim. Just an incredible member of the Board of Governors. I'm going to miss you, Jay. Although it's a little suspicious, Laird, Jay, Linda, Tom are all leaving when I become president, and so I'm going to try not to get that take personal. But once on the Board of Governors, like I said, I try to be quiet. I listen, I watch. I watched Desi Diner, Gene Pettis, Greg Coleman, Ray Abedin, again, Bill Shafino, Mike Kiger, Michelle Suskauer, Jon Stewart, Dory Foster Morales, Mike Tanner, Gary Lesser, and Scott Westheimer in particular. If anything good emanates from my presidency, it'll be because of the people that I learned from, and I learned a lot from them. As for Scott, you've been an incredible friend, an unbelievable leader, and a part of me wishes you served in another term, another time, because coming after you is going to be tough, dude. It's going to be very tough. In all my years of service, I have not come across a smarter or harder working person, someone with integrity and doing it purely for the love of the profession. And that's just, that epitomizes Scott to a T. Thank you so much. I do feel like you're my brother, man. I'm going to miss you so much. I'm honored to be serving on the board with Saya Baker Barnes. If you haven't come to this conclusion yet, you will. There is nothing this lady can't accomplish, and whatever bar is set, Saya is always gonna make it a little bit higher. And of course, now that we know how competitive she is, I can assure you that's going to happen. And the Florida bar should represent the very best of us, and Scott and Saya do represent the very best of us. There's a couple, Anisha Patel is just an outstanding young lady. Just, the Wild D, the presence of the Wild D, as long as I've been on the board, have been spectacular. I don't know if there's anyone been more spectacular than Anisha. But Ashleigh Edwards, she's the real deal. I'm so looking forward to serving with Ashleigh. She's an outstanding young lady. I didn't think that anyone could fill the void that was filled by Jack Harkness. It just didn't seem possible to me. But Josh Stroll did, and he has. And we have the best executive director in the country. Thank you. And in addition to that, he's just a tremendous friend. Thank you for your friendship, Josh. I'm really looking forward to working with you this year. And the thing about, yeah. And thank you to all the staff of the Florida Bar. They're going to force me to be the best version of myself, and I look forward to that. To the Florida Supreme Court, thank you for your presence here today and your support of our bar. It's hard to properly put in perspective how excited I am to collaborate with such talented people. Chief Justice Muniz, still looking good naked. I actually did get in my Cuban man kiss on him yesterday, so I'm making progress. I'm so looking forward to helping the bar achieve its mission. By the way, once again, congratulations on being unanimously elected Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. I do want to mention that it feels truly special to share the Cuban heritage with Justice Labarga, Justice Curiel, and Justice Sasso. However, I don't want Chief Justice Muniz and Justice Kennedy and Justice Grossens, Justice Francis to feel alienated, so I'll be happy to swear you in as an honorary Cuban. We have some Cabo people here. We can do that immediately afterwards. And as Justice Labarga will say, then we'll have a majority on the Florida Supreme Court. On a more serious note, Americans of Cuban descent realize, and recent U.S. history has shown, that our republic and our democracy is more fragile than we know, and it should not under any circumstances be taken for granted. But I'm heartened that the lawyers here and throughout Florida are on the front lines in protecting that democracy and the rule of law. And so this is the last part of my speech. There are a host of people that are particularly close to me, so I hope to get through this without breaking down. So my sister Annie's here, or Giselle. Since and we're here with her husband Brandon. Thank you very much. I love you both very much. So I haven't spent a day in my life since she was born without her love and her support and encouragement. Thank you. There are many reasons each of us make the sacrifices we do, including ambition, the desire for service, even to satisfy our egos. But near the top of my list is the desire to make my children, Mariana, Alessandra, and Christian, proud of their father. From the day they were born until now, okay, I want you to read it, so that way I'll get through it. From the day they were born until now, I can't express the pure, unmitigated, silly joy I feel being their father. They have given me more than I could ever give them, and I want to thank them for their sacrifices. I look forward to the wondrous things that are going to happen in your life as you move forward. I'm sorry. And my wife, Johanna, also a member of the Florida Bar. Thank you for the greatest of sacrifices. It goes without saying, but I will say it, and I have to say it because I know you want to hear this. I can assure you I wouldn't be here, standing here without you. Thank you, and I love you. Some of you may recall that last year I was granted some time to speak at the General Assembly as President-elect, which is not typical protocol. Scott allowed me to do that, and I'll always be indebted to him for that grace. As I suspected, my dad wasn't in good health, and he allowed me to speak. As some of you may recall, he was sick that morning and he couldn't make it. And he ended up passing away in November of 2023. My mother had passed away in 2018. So how do you thank people for having the courage to leave their homeland? Excuse me. Their possessions, their friends and families, in an effort to give their children a better life. And that demonstrated courage has allowed my sister and I to give our kids the life they always wanted. I'm sorry. And so you can't thank them enough. And so I just thank God for the many years that I had them. And while the pain and the sense of loss and the wound is still open, but now I understand it, that it's a good thing. It's a reflection of the profound love I felt and that they gave me. And it's one of those things you don't get over it, you just have to go through it. Listen, God bless each of you and your families. God bless the United States of America, the great state of Florida, and the Florida Bar. Thank you for being here, and I'm here to serve. Thank you.